Alright, Mo Fishies, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. As always, appreciate you watching another one of my videos, and this one's a little bit different today. This is going to be a whole new series that I'm going to do, and I have notes, so I'm not just rambling on while I'm driving here. I'm going to call this the Tournament Truck Talk, and I kind of felt a need for this just to recap the tournaments I fish in, because you know, when I'm done fishing and on my way back to the boat launch, all I'm thinking about doing is outroing, you know, and I'm just trying to hurry up and get done, get my 45 minutes of getting my canoe loaded up, half hour, whatever it takes, and get to the award ceremony and see what place I finished in, because they do shut the score tracker off on all these events. So, and I kind of feel like I leave you guys hanging sometimes. I felt like I needed just to wrap up the tournament series, and I'm going to do it kind of structured. Like I said, I have notes. I'm going to format it in the style of what we did in the Army, the After Action Review, the AAR. Talk about what we did good and should sustain, what we did poorly and need to improve on, and what's coming up next. The reason I decided to do this was after the last tournament, you know, that one stung a little bit, and I feel like I had more to say about it, and I didn't want to drag it with me to the next tournament and talk about it then, so I wanted to have a chance to talk to you guys about it. And you know, it didn't even sting. The Otsego Lake one didn't even sting. I didn't catch any fish. I dropped way down in the Angler of the Year point standings because I didn't catch a fish out of the 4 that were caught in that tournament. But whatever, it is what it is. That one didn't hurt. This last one I let it get to me a little, and I just wanted to talk about it. So just a quick recap of the tournament. It was the Michigan Kayak Trail tournament series, which was a new one. First time I ever finished that. Bigger tournament series. Obviously, there were 50 anglers in that one. I'm just looking at my notes while I'm driving here in these backcountry roads up by my house. I didn't want to sit at my dining room table where I do all my editing and do this. I just wanted to drive around and do it. All right. So, like I said, Michigan Kayak Trail on Fletchers Pond over near Alpena, Michigan, in the Hillman area. And there were 50 anglers, and I finished in 40th place out of 50 anglers with 81 1/4 inches. The winner had 99 inches. So 40th place was 81 inches, and the winner had 99. Pretty good lake, you know, and good fishermen, obviously, but a good lake. Put up that kind of numbers, 40 spots between 99 inches and 81 inches. So my biggest bass was 18.5 inch, and my smallest was a 15 1/4. So not terrible. I'm not totally dissatisfied with my results, honestly. My personal results. What I did good there was, well, I pre-fished, and that put me on a bite. I figured out the pit boss unweighted across the surface, well, would in fact work there and work well, and I hammered some fish, and I hammered, you know, some good fish in practice. I caught that 19 1/4, if you guys watch my practice video or my pre-fish video, and you know, I think I caught an 18 and some 17s, so I did pretty good pre-fishing with it. So that carried over into game day, and I got back on the bite with the unweighted pit boss, though predominantly the white one. And then I ran out of those, and I switched over to the green pumpkin purple, as always, my main color, but the white was really working there. What else? Oh, the Yama Tanuki. I really wanted that to work, and I kind of got it to work. I finally, you know, connected on some bass, landed a few. I just feel like there's something about that, and I'm going to stick with it. I know it's weird. They call it scat bait, poop bait, whatever. Yama Tapoopy. The old Yama Tanuki. And it's just something different, and a lot of times the second that hit the water, they crushed it, or they would hit it at least. So there's something to it, I think, and I plan on sticking with that. So that's a sustain, something did good, and I'm gonna continue on. All right, what improvements or what I can do better? Well, I kind of got on the Pit Boss bite and stuck with that. And it's hard when you get on a bite, you know, when they're hitting something, when they're eating it, it's sometimes really hard to throw something else. Maybe in practice, I should have figured out another bite, tried some other stuff, because I knew the Pit Boss was working. I should have left that and switched over right then and figured out a second or third. And not just assume that maybe the underspin will pick up the slack if the Pit Boss isn't, or, you know, something else. So I need to establish more than one bite if I can, obviously, and then not be afraid to switch on game day and change it up. Even though a bite's working, as you saw, I was catching a lot of smaller fish on the Pit Boss on the surface. I caught, you know, an 18.5 inch, which was a nice one. So you can still catch them on the surface on the bank, obviously, with a Pit Boss or with a smaller style bait. But got to try other stuff also. What can I do else better? Oh, my hookup and land ratio. I know I say I lost one all the time when all I really did was miss the bite. I used missed one, lost one interchangeably, just so you guys, yeah, I'm probably saying it wrong whenever it happened, but that's just kind of how I do it. You know, in the heat of the moment, I say, oh, lost one, and all I did was miss a bite. I understand that. I understand the difference in that, but just so you know, I use those phrases interchangeably, and I know they mean something different, but that's how it goes. So, but I need to work on that, the actual hooking up of the fish with the fish, because yeah, I'm losing and missing a lot. One of my buddies, Clint, he had commented several episodes ago where I was like, why am I missing so many fish? And he's like, sharper hooks and you're hook setting too fast. And I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a walleye fisherman. I think I am hook setting too fast. Clint, you were right. I need to slow down on my hook set, let them really get it, and then don't just slam it the second I feel them. Oh, and then randomly during the tournament, I was cutting across the lake and I was chucking the chatterbait out in front of me and burning it as quick as I could just to catch up to it. And I caught that, it was like a 15.5 inch. I just blind casting a chatterbait out there deep. I know that that's where the bigger fish are. Maybe that, you know, I just, after I caught it, I cast around a few times and left. Went because I wanted to get to the other bank and burn my Pit Boss across the surface along the bank, along the shoreline. Maybe, you know, I obviously probably should have stayed out there and blind casted some baits that get bigger fish, chatterbait, spinnerbait, whatever, you know, because I can tell you that's where all the tournament winners, the leaders, the probably 39 people above me, they were out there in the middle of the lake. I could see them down further, just all out in the middle of the lake, using their side scanning sonar and forward facing sonar and deep dish pizza, whatever it is they do. And honestly, I let that get in my head. I really did, and that's why I said this tournament stung a little bit, because seeing them out there, I was like, how can I compete? They're out there with their electronics and they're just picking and choosing which fish they even want to throw at, because I assume, from what I understand, you can do that when you're using that stuff. I don't know. I've never even used a Garmin Striker 4, so I really don't know. But I let that get in my head, and I can't do that in a tournament. I really can't. Like that affected me. Like I was like, how am I going to catch? I'm not going to catch 5, 18 or 19 inchers banging the short. Well, I could. But can't have known your heart, as Joe Dirt says. So I let that get to me, and I can't do that. They're gonna be in every tournament. They're gonna be out there deep, staring at their screens, and honestly, you know, maybe someday I end up doing that with a forward-facing sonar. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying right now I don't know. I let it get to me. And I can't let that get to me. I sound like that Randy Blaukat or whatever his name is that nobody likes. Just complaining about forward-facing sonar the whole time. And I understand the argument. You know, but there again, there were guys saying, you know, probably 15 years ago, and tournament kayak fishing started getting big, and all of a sudden guys were putting trolling motors on kayaks, and all these other guys were like, that's why I'm kayak fishing. I didn't want to use motors or have to have a motor. I just wanted to, you know, so it's the evolution of fishing and product design and development, and it's all about money, right? I mean, to be honest, my UPS guy, my tackle warehouse delivery man. So anyways, I'm not gonna beat that horse to death. It is what it is. It's probably here to stay, and I might have to cross over to the dark side someday to be competitive, but man, would it be sweet to be able just to stay up on the bank, stay in shallow, top water, whatever, figure it out and beat these guys with their video games. Fish my game into my strengths. That's all I can do right now, right? I can't change that everybody has those electronics and they're out there. It is what it is. What's next? So this week I decided to take a break and didn't do a tournament. I only had one in the Traverse City division of the Topwater series, and I didn't feel like driving down there. In the last week I've done 3 tournaments. So this week I was like, you know what? I don't want to get to where I'm fishing just to make content, and I don't want to be like that. I want to fish because I want to fish, not because I got to make a video. That's what I want to do. Like, I'm grinding, people. I'm fishing, and don't feel bad for me. Wow, I'm fishing. It's like, but it's a full-time job right now, or plus overtime, because I'm out pre-fishing, fishing tournaments 3, 4, 5 days a week, and then editing all night or all day, several days. It's a full-time job, and I'm trying to make it into a job. I'm trying to make this my job, where I get sponsors and everything else, like everything you dream of. I'm sure all of you don't, but I want this to be my job. Who doesn't? Fishing for a living? Come on, man. Heck yeah. That's a dream, right? Why not? Goal and a dream. So, anyways, not fishing a tournament this week after all that being said. And my next tournament is next week, a Gaylord series, or Gaylord division of my Topwater series. I'm on Lake St. Helen. Oh, and I have to place good in that, because like I said, that Otsego Lake beat down where 4 fish were caught, and I finished in 4th with 0 Angler of the Year points. I had 2 people jump up on me. I'm now in 4th place on Angler of the Year, so I got to finish 1st or 2nd in this next event, really, the Angler of the Year race. And then preparations are already underway. I've already been planning, figuring, ordering stuff. We have the next Kayak Adventure series. It's called the Susky 5 Slamma Jamma. It's in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania on the Susquehanna River. And that's going to be a smallmouth slam fest, just like up in Minnesota, hopefully. I'm throwing big baits. I'm ordering some big baits. I'm going to be chucking some meat out there. Okay, so in addition to it being the Kayak Adventure series, it's a co-tournament, 2 tournaments in one, with the Native Watercraft Big Bass Power Hour. So on Saturday, the 2nd day of the tournament, every hour for 8 hours, the largest bass photo submitted for each hour gets $1,000. The largest bass overall gets a Native Titan-X 12.5 foot. What else? And then they have first through like 10th place in that event, on top of the Kayak Adventure series, all the first place, 1st through 5th, and big bass and everything there. So you could walk away with 10, 20 grand. I mean, if you finished in 1st. So that's what's coming up. That's August 8th and 9th. I'll be heading down early, pre-fishing. Kayak Adventure, I think I covered it all, Mo Fishies. I wrote notes. I know I kind of still babbled on there, but I wanted to get that all out, do a better job wrapping up the tournament. And so I'll be looking forward to this every week or every other, whenever I have a tournament after the tournament videos, I will wrap it up in a tournament truck talk here in the Veteran Angler channel. As always, you Mo Fishies are crushing it with your hours, your minutes, and your seconds that you spend watching my channel, and I am so truly grateful. So stick around, Mo Fishies. A lot of stuff coming up. Another tournament coming, possibly the Camper Build Series, the Kayak Adventures Series, Susky 5 Slamma Jamma in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, on the Susquehanna River. I cannot wait. Stick around. It's just going to keep getting better and better, Mo Fishies. So, as always, you know I'm grateful. You know I appreciate you all. And until next time, catch you Mo Fishies later.